Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a replay review for Johnny 99 in his Super Conqueror Tier 10 British heavy tank. Johnny sent this to me asking for help. He said, hey, how could I have turned this into a win? We're going to take a look at this. Sometimes it's just tough, Johnny. We'll talk about it as we go. The Super Conqueror, great turret, weak spot on the top with the hatch. You can see it right there, fairly easy to hit. Very strong turret, okay hull, not amazing. 400 alpha gun. Kind of low for a tier 10, but reloads pretty quickly, so it can drop the pain down range quickly. And having a fast firing gun with a heavy at tier 10 is sometimes an advantage depending on what you're trying to do and how many targets you have to shoot. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. He's logged into Siegfried, he's in the North Spawn, and he's going to head on into the town. And I think going to the town is a good idea with this tank. We're going to talk about where you go initially. It's a pretty typical I'm a strong hold down fighter place or tank. Notice how sometimes I just start talking airplane talk in the middle of everything. it's a nice hold down tonk spot. All right, nice hold down tank spot, but it's a spot that I just find to be a place to lose hit points. Right, you can out trade here. It is a relatively strong spot for your tonk, for your fighter, but I don't like it as a control point. I don't like it as an initial move, as an aggressive position to get your tonk and to start affecting the battle. So we'll see how he does here. It's not too bad of a job. We're going to come around here and way out into the open. And very lucky, to be quite honest. That was sort of a YOLO. The good news is your heavy's pretty fast, and you may have been calculating that in your brain as you did this, but one of the mediums, potentially, or even the 113, the 50-51, even the WZ, these are all fast enough. You can see now the IS-2 is there coming in. We're going to take a little poke at the FV. And this is what you usually find here. You're going to find somebody with another nice hold-down turret, so the IS-2 is okay at that. So pretty good place for him. Maybe the 113, but he's faded to the other side. And then you're going to find big TDs that want to blap you with HE. This is basically what you're going to find in a position like this. So now we've got to be very careful and kind of do a little baiting to get the IS-2 to take a shot, which he did. Nice job. You'll notice that he's nicely angled, so I like that. This rubble pile is fairly short, so he is going to expose some of his hull right there. And then he's got a 100-01 in echelon trying to work with him. We're still with AP. I think I'd have led in this battle, especially if you're going to this position with some APCR. The 100-01, you both get away with it. Man, I wouldn't even rock forward. Even giving him a pixel for the HE, he's going to blap you. So I'd be very careful. The 100-01, I think, learns this lesson pretty quickly. Yes, there we go. And that's this point in a nutshell, right? Especially, so here's the thing. Okay as an initial move, fine. Go there, see if you can get a shot. You did a nice job. You worked it, you baited. The guy came out, was trying to aim because that FV has a really long aim time. You got a shot, you back out. But now there's an FV there. So what's the point? Why sit there with the IS-22 who might get a lucky pin, maybe even tracks you, pins you down for a second, or the FV just snaps one off? Why even sit there and challenge the FV? You know he's on a reload, which is nice. You come in here and this is amazing. I'm not exactly sure where that went. But, wow. All right, one thing to remember with the IS-22, it has 2 barrels. So if you fired, he's 5 seconds. He's actually even inside your reload, which is pretty fast for a heavy right there. You're lucky you only got a piece of the track. I don't know how much of your hull is sticking out here. I would imagine enough. Yeah, maybe enough. Maybe enough. But it is well angled, so you're doing well here. But again, my point is, what is the point? What are we trying to accomplish here? Like, holy cow, there's the FV coming in. 100-01's like, I don't want any more of that. And now will you leave? So I think you were a few too late. Maybe one more sequence of shots after you got that first shot and the FV was there. Screw it. So now we're going to move over to an area that I like a lot better. We'll come across here, and you'll notice that unfortunately Johnny's team is very passive. Nobody is up in there minus the TVP. Is that a VTU? Oh my gosh, good on the TVP VTU. He's trying to get some in there. I don't think he's going to last long where he is. Johnny's team, and now you're going into a spot that I like quite a bit. So you're going to come around here, take a quick look, and then we've got the LPC. jacking around, and now we are crossing. And this is dangerous now because they can own the middle, which interestingly the TVP is sort of stopping them from. And I really don't know why you stopped investigating the TLC. It looks like he's moved away. But as soon as I saw him, I'd have crossed this, maybe look right to see if there's anybody there. It doesn't look like it. There probably will be now that the VTU has died. I'd come over to that rubble and see if we can't find somebody over to get shots on. This is why I like this spot. You can shoot that way. You can go on the ramp and shoot guys who are coming into this little middle bit right here. You can go over to the left side of the courtyard and shoot across. You can come into here and shoot like the TLC or guys that are wandering around over here. It has a lot of options. It's a really good anchor point. Unfortunately, it's not amazing. This is great. I love this T95. You light on fire. Man, why back out? Take that shot and jump in here and tuck up against this wall right here. That's really where you want to be. Plus, you're going to chase that shot, that next shot. You put a good hit on him. Question is he turning around? He probably is, actually. No, you don't know. It just keeps going. So good. Push right on in there and keep looking for shots. And you're doing it, but I think you're just a little bit hesitant. And while you can't say, all right, that's the thing that would help you win this game, or let me put that differently. You can't say that is absolutely the thing that would have won the game for you. It's all those little bits and pieces put together that are going to help you win these kinds of games. Now, you are the only guy in here, and I said I like this spot, and I always try to caveat stuff because it's not a case of it's 100% this or 100% that. It is not as strong a spot if your team's doing what yours is doing, which is all sitting in the back, not supporting, not getting in here. Imagine another tank or two had moved in, filtered in a little bit with you, and now we're all kind of, a couple of us are shooting the same guys and not just you. This is nicely done right here. It's a little, yeah, that one's going to get you. I think you're over angled right there. Maybe if you just shifted your hold just a little bit. You can actually use this other little opening. It's much smaller and you got to get the angle right. But just over angled here, it's hard to tell where he hits you because the camera's hard. There we go. Oh, look at that, right through that wheel. Oh no, that's just a wheel. Where did he get you? Sometimes there it is. Oh wow, okay. Is that that is the shot. Wow. All right. Maybe you were angled slightly when you went up on the hill there. That was a great shot, and that's an example of the Conqueror, fellas. If you don't have this tank, of its accuracy. This is a heavy that can do those kind of, look at that little snap. It's a hit. There's that opening I was talking about. And it does close up as you move left, and it looks like you may have just had enough. Sometimes it's hard to use it because the hitbox on it, you can't see it. You just see the physical representation. Most of the modeling is okay in this game, but sometimes the hitboxes and the visual representation are a little off. And all of a sudden, this dude shows up. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell is he doing? Take advantage of it. You do a pretty good job of noticing what's going on around you right there. Now this one's tough because it's the double-barreled fella. He just spins around. He's able to probably punch you into the lower plate, I'd imagine. No? Okay. Usually those shots bounce. But again, that's the modeling picture. God knows where it actually registered the hit, all that good stuff. This is hard because what I'd love to do is tuck my front up against this building and then side scrape out a little bit to take that guy on. But if you go too far over here, you can then start taking shots from those guys you saw over here. Especially, you really kind of got to get up in this area for that to happen. But they might get a piece of you if you're right there. But I think I'd have tried to minimize the amount of shots that this dude's going to get at me. Yeah, somehow he just puts two into us. That's really just sucks. All right, we go in there. We're looking. Oh yeah, I think that was a little bit hasty. I think if you just put your, you might got in. He face hugged you, so that's pretty nice. You would have been maybe into the ring right there if you'd have gone straight down with the gun. I don't know if that's a weak spot, but that certainly is right there. I'm not sure if that's a hitbox or not right there, but this one would have been nice. The interesting thing about him is he's got two barrels to make you bounce. And he's putting them up. See how he's putting them up to try to block with the barrels. That was interesting right there. So we don't get that shot. Nice job kind of moving the turret around. He doesn't get anything out of that next shot. And we get him dead. All right. So things are not too bad right now. We've done a nice job, 3,600 damage, but we're starting to lose 2 to 4. And again, this is what I said early on. Sometimes you're just fighting the good fight, man. You have zero support. There's probably an argument here. I think some of the better players might say, well, get out of town. Your teams showed no proclivity to get in and help you. They've shown no effort. Why sit in here and get surrounded and killed? You might as well fall back. I think that's a valid suggestion. You could have tried that. Based on what happens, we're going to talk about it. I don't know if it would have mattered for your damage, and I really don't know if it would have mattered for helping your team. I mean, look where the bat chat is. He's actually on the A row. And then we eat this shot. All right. So that was probably, and I was talking, unfortunately, I didn't really talk about it closely enough, so let's do it right now as you yammering about falling back. And this is the problem, obviously, right? You're now overextended in the town, primarily because your team showed no effort to come in and help, even though they've got a 263, a T30, a Progetto. Holy cow. Just all kinds of great tanks that could have helped you in here. So once you killed him, I would not have driven out into this open area, because you had to know there was a lot of guys, and you knew, you can see by the mini-map, if you look down at it, there's plenty of guys that have filtered through here. Do not come around this corner, just drive around this corner and go, all right, where's my next shot? That was one of, if not the biggest mistake so far, just driving out, especially with that T95 who wants a little revenge for you lighting his ass on fire. So I'd have tucked back in here. This guy's good armor. Push him out, kind of take a look, see what's going on, try to use that strong turret. And we're going to get into that next. I think the mistake was self-critiquing. Be careful with T95s, man. They reload a lot faster than you think. Ooh, a little too much. Ooh. Don't do that. So you swung your arse end. You just did not. I would have backed out and kind of done one of these things and just kind of slunk away like a snake from the T95. But you swing your rear end out like that and you get away with it because he's not quite reloaded. Nice job seeing this guy. You swing right back over here. And a little thump into him, and there's that hitbox thing. I think the shot actually went left. Kind of bait him. There's a little sneaky shot through the little exposed area, and thank God that guy missed. I'm not sure if he was shooting. I think he was. He shot at somebody. I heard the boom, and then some dust kicked around. So let's change the camera angle and see what happened there. Another problem with this particular position is exactly that. So you're going to come in here. You actually futz around with this guy for a while. So let's see. You take a shot. You sneak forward there. Yes, he is looking right at you. Ooh! That was just one of those things. So another problem with this spot is I talked about how you have shots in multiple directions. They also have shots in multiple directions at you. It's too bad the enemy team wasn't somewhat aggressive. Too bad for them, because if that FV had driven in a little bit and got a little closer to his work where he wasn't trying to zoom in from the corner, man, he might have absolutely deleted you right there. It was very close. You look over like, oh, geez, that was a close one. Now, see him moving forward? He can't be reloaded. I would go get him. And here's another thing that you're doing with your cam work. I'd be zooming out. This zoom is driving me crazy when it does this. I'd be zooming out as much as possible, kind of looking. Oh, look at him, he's exposed. Just ignore him for a minute and go shoot the FV. Ah, man, you had a shot on the FV, and he's on a reload. Now he's probably pretty close to the reload. And now you're not really paying attention to him, so what the heck is he? You're going to get out, yeah, you're checking a little bit. There we go. We come up, we get spotted, we come back. That guy makes a mistake. That is what you did earlier. Swinging your rear end, trying to get out of someplace. The FV looks like maybe he's coming at you. That's probably his shot. Probably. But I don't think he can come around the corner, although the T95 seems to have moved up, so maybe you do. There you go. So you have an opportunity with the T95 where he is. We see this guy crossing. Takes a lot to see him. I knock that thing down. One of the first things I do when I come to this spot, and I talked about it earlier, when I talked about you could have come in or come to this spot earlier, I knock that thing down pretty much immediately, because that's the problem that it gives you. You can't see the highlight. And if you zoom in enough, you can't see the tank. Now the FV is coming. Is he coming? Yes, he is. Nice shot. Little tracking action. I like it. And then he shoots. All right. Thank you very much. Get in there, but be careful, because there's probably buddies like that guy. Yep. So there's another one that I don't think I would have done. I understand what you were doing, but you have to look at it and go, there's 2 or 3 tanks over there. I'm spotted. Yeah, it's a tempting target to go after the FV, but now I ate another 300 or 542 from the WZ. So now I can't take a hit from anybody. It was a close thing anyway, based on the, let's see, the bat chat's not going to kill you. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong guys. Duh. Type 61, no. Skoto's going to clip you. Sturv, no. T95, yeah. So there were some tanks you could have taken a hit from. That was one of them. Thank goodness he didn't high roll. I think you had a shot on his hole right there. You kind of let him get away. I'm not really sure why. You do have a tendency to kind of do the bait thing, which is great. But remember, he's a rear turreted tank, and he'd fired, and he's still backing up. Like that is a sign that he's not loaded yet. So I think you definitely had a chance to sneak up there and get a shot on him. That was just a way to get another 400 hit points of damage. We're at 5,150, 85 assist. We've held this spot pretty good, but we're a 22 hit point tank. So pretty soon they're going to figure out a way to get rid of you. You're a thorn in their side. All right, Bat Chat finally moves up. T50's headed off that way. We're going to back out, and we back out with the back of our tank. Man, I would have shifted around before I did that. Thank goodness. So he's actually on the other side of those buildings. There you go. We finally sort of maneuvered this tank around. Dead tanks are great cover. Sometimes you can shift them around where you want them. Don't spend a lot of time doing that. I see people waste all kinds of time futzing with dead tanks. Don't. I see this a lot from people. They're just sort of driving around. And I like that your camera was out, but man, I would have been, when I came up over that, I'd have been something like this when I snuck up and over. Hey, is that FV there, and can I get a shot? And I'd see him a lot sooner than I came all the way up this high. That's good SA camera technique, but when I'm moving into a position like that where I know somebody's been and they might shoot me, I don't really want to just be in third person and just drive up in the open and go, hey, and give them that shot that they don't deserve. Things are going from bad to worse. Your team never really had any kind of map control. The enemy team just sort of took it as they wanted it. Oh yeah, so if you come out in a situation like that, there's a lot of bushes in this that's pretty funny. And you notice the 113's on the other side. Don't keep pushing. Just back up for a second, look around again. Look for something else. That FV is moving around there. Down goes the T25, and now they're starting to filter. And this is maybe your last chance to actually get out of here. You might have been able to just run back that way and head up for the hills up there and for a little more hold down fighting. Pretty soon though, yeah, now you're spotted, so it's over. There's no way you're getting away now. You're spotted? Man, I would not do this. But it worked. The 103 tries to shoot you in siege mode. Oh my gosh, and then that guy bounces. And then this dude comes around and shoots you in not siege mode, but travel mode. Oh man, what a sequence. We get away with it. There's that fast firing gun. Nice job. Get up under there. Looks like you tracked him with that shot. That was well done. Oh, and then we get shot by the 113 who finally gets a shot into as you're trying to sneak around. We end up with 5,939, almost 6,000 damage, man. 85 assist. Really, in this game, there was just a lot of little things to discuss. Giving away the hit points to the T95 was wholly avoidable. I think largely that last hit by, I think it was the 113 that did 500 or so, was also avoidable. So there's another 1,000 hit points potentially you didn't need to lose. And now if you're fighting what was left with 1,000, but it's you and the Artie, right? And so your team was completely passive. That was going to be a very difficult game to win. And it's the thing I always say, in theory, you can win every game. All right, it's possible, but it is not probable. It is highly improbable that you'll win every game. But we talk about the things we do and how we could have done better. And I think not losing those 1,000 hit points, you probably could have put another couple, 3, 4 hits on people before you died. Right? That last push, they were really coming in on you, but you had some low hit point guys. But pretty soon, what they have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tanks. Pretty soon you were going to get gang tackled and taken down. So I don't think necessarily you were going to turn this one into a win. It was highly improbable. And I can't give you any things that I would hang my hat on and say, here's how you win this one. We can just talk about the initial positioning, being there a little long, a little bit hesitant to get in here. Nice general job once you got in here doing this, and losing two big hits of hit points you shouldn't have lost. There you go. All right, man. I hope that helps. I know it doesn't It does not soothe the ego when someone says, well, here's what you should have done to win. But there you have it. It was a nice game, though, man. Thanks for sending it in. I appreciate it. And we will see you.